The great thing about the Survival Island Challenge is that you can do it on any island. Load up a map, find an island and don't leave. It's as simple and easy as that. Thousands of Minecrafters are partaking in this challenge and thousands more are yet to try it. And this challenge originates back to 2010 when a player put this map on the Minecraft forums and introduced the world to the Survival Island Challenge. So why don't we go ahead and check out this island and survive 100 days in hardcore mode. If you're going to enjoy the video, then please consider leaving it a like. If we get to about 3k, and then I'll consider doing 200 days, and if you're going to enjoy content like this, then please consider subscribing. Again, 200k would be awesome to hit by the end of the year, so let's see if we can do that. What's going on, everybody? My name is Havenhand. Thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's talk about the island. Now, I've done a couple of Survival Island challenges so far. I've even done an island similar to this where it was mainly just sand. So why am I doing it on this particular island? That's because, my friends, this is the original Survival Island in December of 2010. So we're talking just under 13 years ago from when this video gets released. A player by the name of Ashian put onto the Minecraft forums the Survival Island Challenge. The simple goal: stay on the island, do a set couple of challenges, and survive. This map is old. This map will ooze nostalgia for those who played it. And I think it's only fair, whilst I'm waiting for 1.21 to come out, that I actually give this a go. I've always wanted to give this particular challenge a go, the original Survival Island. I think that's pretty cool. I feel like it's going to have some interesting challenges along the way. Now, things are a little bit different for me this time, because obviously this map was made, we're talking what, beta Minecraft? I don't really know the possibility of getting, you know, certain things here, like the Ender Dragon or the Wither or those kind of things, but I am interested to see what I can do, what I can find. I'm going to focus on making this island look spectacular, by the way, so watch the space. So let's begin by grabbing ourselves some dirt. Don't worry, I marked where the X was. Now let's grab some saplings. Wait, why are we paused? Oh, I was just psyching out the viewers, got ya. Well, with all this wood, I think it is smart for me to grab some cobblestone. I made Haven Cobble Shack version 1 build of the video, if I do say so myself. And now, when this challenge originally came out, I think it wasn't possible to do what I'm currently doing with murdering some fish in the water, but we are in 1.20. This food is hopefully going to get us through the first few days. I'll cook these bad babies up. After waiting out the night and getting to day 2, I checked out the signs. Fireplace, sure. Scarecrow? Well, where are the pumpkins? Who needs pumpkins when you have caves? It did have a little bit of iron and a good amount of coal, and then I heard myself some mob noises. Turns out there's a spawner really close to my base, which is what that X was leading to on the first day, which is quite nice. Sadly for me, I am nowhere near ready to actually go in there just yet, so for the time being, let's head back up. And it was night, where I knew it was time for me to hunt some spiders and get myself some strength. Despite how small the island actually was, it wasn't actually too hard to get mobs to spawn on the island. All I would have to do is go to the other side of the island, and then on the other side of the island, a mob should spawn. Occasionally that would be spiders, which means I would be able to get myself 16 string, which is actually quite impressive, all things considered. If you've done these kind of challenges, you'd understand the pain. The problem I did have on day 3 was there was a severe lack of trees. Lucky for me, my night antic meant I was able to get myself 10 bones, enough for me to get myself a couple of pieces of bone meal. I did gaff up the funk though a little bit. I accidentally made myself 4 pieces of wool, so I was going to make a fishing rod with the extra 4 wool I would have had from making the other 3 into wool, so no fishing rod for me just yet. The rest of the bone meal I used to acquire myself some seeds. Food is already an issue for me, so I really need to get myself some wheat. I grabbed myself some more dirt, I planted some seeds, and as I was typing up my notes for this script, my situation got even worse. Flaming zombie. It's not even primal. I thought of a cool hack that I could use on day 4. I can make myself a composter. Get myself some bone meal from these flowers. Unfortunately for me, composters kinda suck balls. Well, back to it like a caveman, then stabbing all the fish until they die. At least I've got a pretty unlimited supply of food. And now for a pretty simple build, I'm going to build myself a nice little fishing dock. We'll eventually get myself a fishing rod, so it is nice to have a spot where I can actually fish. I think we can all agree that this is the best build of the video, guaranteed. Now with the precious little wood that I have, I need to make sure that I conserve it. Don't waste it, and I'm making stairs. Of course I am. This has got to be the most useless thing I've ever made. Anyway, I kept having a zombie problem. For one reason or another, they just kept coming up the stairs, so I went down there, and how did you guys get in here? There's lights everywhere. Doors, people. They're weirdly useful here. So I don't know why on day 5, but these little caves, for one reason or another, just keep spawning mobs. The weird part is I went into darker caves later, and there was no mob spawning, because sure, why not? At least I can get into these caves, light them up, get myself some more coal and a spawner. Ooh, cactus. Ooh, mushrooms, nice. I can bring them up and make shears. Well, I actually had another idea to potentially get myself a good bone meal source, and that's using all the spare leaves. That's a very weird sentence. I basically want to get as many seeds as possible to fill out the entire farm, so I did what I could to keep getting myself some local bone meal and keep expanding the farm as much as I could. Day 6 and I really can't wait for these to grow. For the time being, let's get some fish. What the f was that? It's definitely gonna take a while, but immediately getting this fishing rod will speed things up a little bit. I pretty much spent the whole day fishing. Thank you to Laura, I must say it was a good day of fish. I set up a little campfire cooker on day 7. Best build of the video, we all can agree on that one, right? And then I kicked up that fish. Gotta stop saying it like that, like my god. Wood collecting is going well, by the way. I'm getting plenty at this point. I'm also using the leaves for bone meal, close to maxing out the entire farm, which is pretty good. I returned back to the caves on day 8. It was a simple day of cleaning out the caves, lighting them up, and collecting the little bits of iron and coal I could find along the way. Even found myself a new spawner, which is pretty good. In the spawner, it of course had the very common resource of sugarcane. And getting back at night, I had some iron to cook and some coal to use, so let's quickly do that. I planted the sugarcane straight away on day 9, made myself some iron tools and a little bit of iron armor. You can't forget about the armor, boys. And then I went back into the caves to get myself even more iron, and I also got myself a treasure. Well, some good treasure too. Wish I would have found it a day earlier. I wouldn't have had to waste 8 iron on a chestplate, but hey, what can you do? I went back to searching more of the caves, collecting even more iron. Day 10 and I'm really snazzing up the common shack, like my goodness. Anyway, as much as this shack is nice, I do think it needs to be a little bit of an upgrade, so let's go ahead and grab some wood. And it's time for me to actually start working on my house for this build. The thunder, hey, better sleep. I carried on building on day 11 when right in front of my eyes a wandering trader showed up. Unfortunately for me though, because this is an older map, 20.2 trades were not enabled, meaning there is no way for me to get any of these trades, so I can't do anything with the wanderer's trader. His llamas though. I kept working on the house, though the problem was I didn't have any wood left, so it was a little bit of a waiting game, waiting for these trees to grow so I can carry on the frame. And I knew on day 12 that I'm going to need a lot of wood by the end of this, so I decided I think it's about time that I extend my tree area, so I went dirt digging. I ended up doubling the size of my platform by the end of this. I'm hoping that'll be enough. And then unfortunately for the next couple of days I didn't record. You honestly didn't miss too much, but here's a quick rundown of everything that I did. I finished making my iron armor, I finished the home as well as put some storage in. The only thing I can really say about it is that I think we can all agree that it's the best build of the video. Let's go. Anyway, that takes us up to day 15 where I went back caving, and boy was it a good day to cave because it was diamond galore down here. A quick reminder, since this map was generated in probably beta Minecraft, that means a bunch of diamonds will spawn at the normal Y16 level. That's how I was able to find about 16 diamonds before I even entered the deep slate layer. I also got about a stack of iron, so that was pretty good. On day 16 I ended up turning my cobble shack into a furnace room. Gonna cook all the things in here, and with these diamonds I decided to make myself a couple of tools and a bit of armor. And though I don't have any plans for the Nether or enchanting just yet, I better head underground and quickly grab myself 14 obsidian. The ultimate goal on day 17 is to get myself a unlimited sugarcane farm. That way I can make myself a level 30 enchanter when the time comes. But if I'm wanting to make this sugarcane farm, I'm going to need myself a little bit of quartz. So after setting myself up the Nether portal, I quickly went in. It was a relatively safe spawn, all things considered. I was very easily able to grab myself some quartz and then dip straight out. Once I got back, I pretty much made the stuff that I needed and started working on the sugarcane farm straight away. It didn't take too long to complete. Here we are on day 18. We can all agree that it looks awful, but it should work fine. Also, my food situation is relatively safe, I would say. Shouldn't struggle with food anytime soon. I also noticed that I accidentally used all of my obsidian to make the portals. Now, I could have just taken out the corners and then just saved it for the enchanting table, but I decided to just head back into the caves and just quickly grab myself the 4 extra obsidian anyway. So whilst I'm waiting for the sugarcane to grow on day 19, I'm gonna go and check out the Nether a little bit more. So as I just mentioned, the Nether is actually pretty safe for me, but unfortunately there is no open areas. Basically, I'm going to have to dig out of this little pocket here to hopefully find myself some normal Nether. After digging around for a while, I did actually find myself the lava pool on the floor, and it unfortunately had nothing. Gonna be fun to get across this, I'll tell you that now. But it's not a task I'm really wanting to do at the moment, so let's head home for now. It is night, so I can take myself a quick nap. I didn't really do much on day 20. Collected some woods, made the farms look a little bit better, replanted myself the saplings. I was pretty much just waiting for more sugarcane to grow, and wait, I did. So on day 21, I was able to make myself that enchanting table and enchant. Well, I may have forgot to grab myself some lapis along the way, so down we go. There was a decent bit of cave that I was yet to explore. However, all the lapis in this case was just non-existent. All I was really finding was more iron and more coal, which I'll still take, to be fair. So on day 22, I want to show you something that used to be quite a common thing in Minecraft, and that was this kind of glitched water. You don't really see it anymore, but I guess because this is an old map moved to 1.20, it's quite interesting to see. Anyway, I did get myself a couple more diamonds, just not that diamond, rip that diamond, but I wasn't finding myself any lapis, so I decided to quickly check out the deep slate layer. Lapis will show up eventually, but now it is just more diamonds, more mobs, and more iron, but sadly, even in the deep slate, no lapis. And on day 23, it's about damn time. My goodness. Anyway, there is more caves to search, so let's just quickly search it. How this arrow missed, I will never know. I'm also being run over by skeletons. Seriously, 1 star on Yelp. This is not a place to be. And then a creeper, and how did that miss? What are you talking about? Oh, damn, it's nice. Also got myself a little bit more lapis. I had 23 diamonds and a decent amount of lapis, though I am foodless at this point, so it is time for me to leave. And by the time I got back, it was day 24. I did a little bit of bone mealing to grab myself some bread. Yum, 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 yum. Anyway, made myself some more diamond armor, got myself some enchants on those bad boys, and then I fished. I have no food, okay? Leave me alone. So after a decent haul of fish on day 25, I returned back into the Nether. The plan was to find myself a structure. I'm going to find me one of those bastions or fortresses, you know, the good stuff. It's going to require a lot of bridging though, so yeah, bear with me. Took me until the next day to find anything worthwhile. There's a warped forest along the path, which admittedly I don't really need right now, but when I am wanting ender pearls, it will actually speed up the process quite a bit. Other than that, there wasn't really anything else around. And on day 27, I found myself a bastion, and I will kid you not, this is the worst bastion of all time. I want you, my delicate and dedicated viewer, to think, what could I find in a bastion? Maybe I could find myself some netherite. How about one of those trimming boys? Maybe I can get myself a little bit of pick step. Well, yeah, this place had none of that. I am not joking when I tell you that I left this place with 1 piece of ancient debris and a little bit of iron. It was awful. My luck did turn around a little bit though on day 20, where I found myself a fortress, and this place wasn't useless. It actually had things for me to use, like blaze spawners. I could actually get myself the rod. Oh, that sounds gross. I ended up collecting myself 16 blaze rods, and then spent the rest of the day pretty much just searching the rest of the fortress, collecting myself some nether warts, and searching all the chests, but sadly I didn't get anything too good extra. Took me until day 30 to get back, and it was night. I stored my goodies away on day 31, don't need them just yet. But what I will tell you at this point is that I actually took an IRL break from this 100 days. I basically didn't play for 2 or 3 days, so when I did come back on this day, I'm going to be honest with you, I had no idea where I left off, so you can see me aimlessly wandering around the island, just trying to remember what I was up to, what's going on, that kind of thing. But when I got my bearings on day 32, I realized I needed to sort out some food. Both bread and pork is on the menu today. We'll make a fantastic sandwich. I also learned that I could use cacti for a composter, which is actually going to become more useful by the day. But then I remembered, instead of wasting my time on a composter, I literally have a skeleton spawner downstairs that would literally give me an infinite amount of bones. And would you believe that an infinite amount of bones would actually be quite useful? Day 33, and I found myself a guide online on how to make the best skeleton spawner, and I got to work clearing out the walls, clearing out the floor, pretty much just making this a nice open room for them to spawn. I'm still working on it on day 34, got myself a kill room set up, and with it completed, we can now remove the torches and see what happens. I will need to get myself a hopper set up down here just so I can collect everything very easily. So after quickly popping back up, grabbing myself a hopper, and yeah, things are working pretty good, I'd say. The main reason I set it up on day 35 is, well, you can see all the wheat that I have. 15 bread doesn't seem like a lot, but boy, will it be close to 50, which I'm pretty happy with. And with my food situation somewhat sorted, I think we can now work on the house a little bit, so I do need to grab myself a little bit more wood. My initial plan for this build was to build something really basic to start off with and then add stuff to it later, so it is now time to add. I carried on working on it the next day, using all the wood to create a nice outline, though I unfortunately wasn't close to actually getting enough wood to complete this. And like a smart person would, I also completely forgot to replant all of my saplings, so I'll have to get on that really quickly. And as much as I do need to get myself some wood, I will also need to get myself some glass, so I quickly grabbed my sand and started cooking some up. I will say on day 37 that I'm really trying to make this build look nice, so yes, it is slow going whilst I am building it, but it's a lot of like placing and then checking what I've done. I'm really hoping by the end everybody will like it. Front is mostly done, I just need to get myself a little bit more wood. So yet again, I guess it is a waiting game, waiting for wood to grow. Why didn't I just go to the skeleton spawner and get some more bones? Why didn't I do that? And the waiting was done on day 38, and the trees were chopped, so it was back to work. Getting the walls finished at this point. I don't know if it's just me, but I genuinely think that this is the best build of the video. It's just me, maybe? I don't know. And then I had another idea to kill 2 birds with 1 stone on day 39. I need to get myself some food, and I also need to get myself some leather. And if you don't know, there is actually a single mob in the entire game that drops both that I have access to, and and that is the Hoglin. So I went into the Nether and I started slaying all that I could. They don't really do any damage to me in my diamond armor, and they take, what, 3 or 4 hits to actually kill, so really it was quite nice. The best part about this is that I have an unlimited fuel supply right below me in the lava pool, so I could pretty much just put this pork into the furnace and then just carry on killing Hoglins whilst the rest of it cooks. Fantastic. Though it is an easy process on day 40, it is admittedly quite a slow one as well. They don't need spawn every so often, so yeah, it was definitely taking a minute for me to get to the 45 level that I was hoping for. What I will mention though is as I was searching the Crimson Forest, there's a bastion very close to me that I didn't initially notice, so that'll be cool to check out later. So about 40 minutes later, which got us to day 42, and I only need 2 more leather to actually complete this, and it was on this day that I got the remainder of the leather. So other than cooking this pork, we are done here for the time being. Day 43, and I just want to point out that I'm good for food for like ever. Seriously, look how much pork this is. And since we are already here, why don't we go ahead and check out this Nether fortress? That's a bastion, Haven. Come on now. So it turns out this is the same bastion that I searched much earlier, but I think I just came in from a different side, which is why I initially thought it was a new bastion. So yeah, sadly there wasn't anything new here. And now that I'm done, I can officially head home. I am 100% done with leather. Now I just need to get some sugarcane. Well, that's not good. I decided to make myself a couple of changes, mainly just to expand the sugarcane farm, but the first thing I want to do is put in some glass so I can actually see what's going on in there. But I got to expanding on day 44, and with no redstone left over for me to fix it up, I will have to quickly head back underground. Luckily, I left a decent amount of redstone in my caving days, so that's pretty good. I was also able to collect myself a couple of diamonds. Honestly, it wasn't too shabby down here. Day 45, and I finished extending the sugarcane farm. Still got a ways to go to get the actual sugarcane, but hey, we are making progress. I am thinking about going on another Nether adventure very soon. Before that, I would like to collect myself just a couple more arrows, so let's go back to skeleton grinding. The next day, I had over a stack more, so I think it is time to go into the Nether. I wanted to find myself a brand new bastion to potentially get myself a netherite upgrade, so I went hunting, finding a new one pretty much straight away, and it definitely wasn't the same one as before. Sadly for me, it looks like this bastion is sort of merged with the basalt biome, so a lot of the chest was deleted by the basalt biome, sadly. This chest had a snout trimming, and this chest had a lodestone, but neither of them had the upgrade, which is a little bit disappointing. I spent another hour searching for a new bastion, but I got a new one on day 49. Isn't that nice? The main chest room unfortunately did not have an upgrade for me. However, this chest in the corner did, which is about time, let me just say. Unfortunately, in this world, nothing in this world comes free, so I had to fight off hordes of Mordor just to get the bloody thing. Seriously, I nearly died down here. It was terrible. I also picked up a couple of pieces of ancient debris. Isn't that nice? I got back home by day 51, where yet again, it was night. Update on the sugarcane on day 52, and boy was it growing slowly. I did the maths at this point, and if I am right, it will take up until day 90 for me to get enough for a level 30 enchanter, and yikes, that is bad. I wonder if there's a way I can potentially speed this up, and well, the stronghold is a thing, but there is going to be quite a long dig away, but again, it's going to be a lot quicker than getting to day 90, so I returned back to the Nether and to the warped forest to start killing myself some endermen. I got 13 by day 53, which I was fairly confident should be enough to get me there. I made myself the Eyes of Ender once I got back and I found the direction I needed to go. Alright, that was the easy bit. Started packing up my things and then I started digging. And boy, did I start digging. Here is your 5-day update. Yes, you heard me right. 5 days of digging to get us to day 58, and I am closer than I thought. Now, in retrospective, digging a 2x2 tunnel probably wasn't the play here, but then we're halfway there, living on a prayer, so let's keep going. And it was on day 60 where I found myself a cave. I thought that potentially the stronghold could be in here, but after quickly checking it out, it didn't look like it was the case, so I just kept digging through the wall where I finally found it. 2.5 hours of digging, but here we are, and one library later, and I have myself 2 stacks of books. Fantastic. And then I found myself the end portal in the library. The portal was empty, so I'm willing to get myself a couple of pulls whenever I'm ready to go here. And over then this Thorns 2 book that I found in one of the libraries. There really wasn't any good enchanted books either. And now on day 61, we can run home, and oh boy, is this a run. This tunnel is about 2,000 blocks long, so would you be surprised it took most of the day to actually get back home. I can finally set myself up that level 30 enchanter. Isn't that exciting? But I can't just set myself up a level 30 enchanter. I actually have to add a new area to my home to be able to put it inside. So I extended one of the sides of my house to set up the actual enchanter itself. Have to say, best build of the video. 10 out of 10, boys. Let's go. Did have to wait a little for day 63 to get myself some more wood so I can finish it, but I do quite like it. I can now enchant my sword and pickaxes, both of them pretty good. The bow, yikes. Take 2 though was also pretty good. Day 64, and I think I really should consider killing myself the Ender Dragon for a variety of reasons, but to do that I am going to need myself some arrows, so I spent the day killing myself even more skeletons. And thanks to the levels I picked up by day 65, I could slightly improve improve my armor. It's nothing amazing, but honestly it'll do. I'm willing to get myself a couple more ender pearls so I can actually light the end portal. So it was back to the Nether for me. Thanks to the looting 2 that I had on my sword, it only took me 2 endermen for me to get the 3 ender pearls, so we are already done here. And after the very long run on day 66, I returned to the end portal, and let's do this. Oh, that was very quick. Well, okay, the dragon's dead. Cool. And I'm back home. Let me just quickly make myself a dragon egg statue. Isn't that nice? Day 67, I realized that I really shouldn't have jumped into the end portal again. Now I have to run back the 2,000 blocks, which pretty much is just killing a day. By the time I got back to the end, though, I killed myself some ender dragon and I made this shop. Oh, never mind. Oh, I guess I could do it on the second try, boys. Everyone's allowed one mistake. Second try, you know? It took 3 days for me to find myself an end ship with an actual end city. I just found myself one of those portals as I was coming up to it as well, which means this should be quite easy to get out of. Unfortunately for me, this is probably the biggest faff I've ever had to deal with end cities. I also wanted to get myself some sugar boxes because I always find them quite useful. In return, I got hit by every single sugar I possibly could. I have never gotten this achievement by accident before, but there you go. I guess I can fly around as much as I want because these are endless. Point is though, I got myself the ship and I got myself the elytra, which is fantastic. Also want to point out that this iron pickaxe may be the best iron pickaxe I've ever found. And then after quickly grabbing myself the dragon head, I flew home and then set up the dragon head in my house. Looks good to me, boys. Looks good. So on day 71, let's spend some levels. I can fix my armor, enchant my gear. Got some pretty decent stuff, I'd say. I would like to get myself a pickaxe with fortune on it, but the rest is good for now. I guess for now what we'll do is we'll expand our dirt platform again to see if we can get ourselves any more trees. Lucky for me, I picked up plenty of dirt during my tunnel digging days, so I can expand it quite nicely. And with these bone blocks, I could actually get myself some more trees planted. I did a little bit more farming. Don't know why. I have all the food I need. You know what? I guess I did it so I could use the compost to get myself 2 extra bone meal. Sure, why not? So the next thing that this house needs on day 72 is it needs a full beacon. I think we can all agree on that one. So it was back to the Nether and back to the fortress. Not gonna lie, kind of got jump scared by this guy. No biggie. And here's with the skeleton number 2, and oh, that was very quick. Well, I hope that keeps going because that's some really good look. Oh, that's the second skull. Just so we're all clear, that was 4 wither skeletons where I got 2 skulls from, which is fantastic. Now, I'm not exactly sure what day this was, but the point is I did get the 3rd wither skull during this time, and I got back on the night of 74. It was probably the quickest I've ever got the 3 wither skeleton skulls, which is quite nice. So it was back to the Nether the next day. I had 2 simple goals: get all the debris I can for full netherite, and pick up a couple of levels from some quartz, because I still believe that getting fortune 3 is a good move for me. Shame the starting biome is mainly basalt, so it was slow going at first. At least I got my first piece this day. So the good news on day 76 is that there was plenty of quartz for me to get. The bad news, debris just wasn't a thing. This entire day of me mining, I got one piece of ancient debris. It's not a good time to be a boy Havenhand. The next day, I actually got some more debris. I have now 5 in total, which was an okay start, but as you can see by my pickaxe, it is about to break. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to take a tactical stop just because I don't want to get stuck in here. On day 78 and a quick count, including the debris I already got from bastions, I now have a total of 11 ancient debris. So let's just quickly enchant. A reminder that I am trying to get fortune 3, so on my first level 30 enchant, I only got efficiency 3, which was kind of annoying. You know what made it even worse though? I only had 2 lapis left, which means I can only do a 2nd tier enchantment where I got efficiency 3. Like, why? So yet again, I am short on lapis, and I'm also actually short on diamonds at this point, so yet again, we are going to have to go back underground. I believe this may be the first or second time I've ever gone into the deep slate layer for the record, so that's kind of interesting to think about. Should have done it a lot sooner for the record. Here is a zombie villager the second that I got into the deep slate layer. It took me a while, which included building a staircase and slowly leading him back up, but we was going to get him back up to base, if I could find my way through here, that is. I got entrapped in the furnace room on day 79, and I've been thinking very far ahead because this entire time I have been collecting everything I needed just in case this situation arose. We can finally cure this bad boy, and whilst I am waiting, I may as well get myself a couple levels, so maybe we can do another level 30 enchanter. Day 18, I may have forgotten that I didn't have lapis, so I got to head back underground again. Whilst I was digging around, I did actually get a zombie doctor, which was kind of cool, and I ended up finding the same deep slate layer cave as before. I just couldn't find the staircase last time, so this is why I dug into it. Also got myself a few diamonds, can't complain. Though the diamonds are nice, the ultimate goal is of course to get myself some lapis. Unfortunately for me, I was way too busy fighting every single mob that I could. Like, seriously, why was every single mob in the deep slate layer? This was awful, and it was was more of the same on day 81. Lots of diamonds, not really much else. I just want to point out I have 22 diamonds to my name at this point, but 0 lapis. It's funny how that works. Start at day 82 like usual, finding myself a couple of diamonds, but then, could it be the ultra rare material of lapis? Well, I'd never. So yeah, I quickly grabbed that, and here we go on day 83. The first try was of course a failure, but the second time there was no efficiency, but honestly I'll take it. And with the spare diamonds, I have enough to dupe my trimmings 3 more times, but I'm willing to get myself some more diamonds if I am wanting to make full netherite armor. For now, we should consider fighting the wither. Now, I did pick up the 2 health potions that I got from the end city ways ago. With that and the 2 netherite pieces that I'll be able to make, hopefully that should be enough to find him. And on day 84, well, we're going down, in and nearly around, and let's do this. Now, admittedly, this was close. I think I got a little bit cocky, to be 100% honest with you, but thanks to the health potions and a little bit of luck along the way, I was able to just survive. I picked myself some obsidian along the way, and now we can make ourselves a beacon. So we got back on day 85. I was planning on actually building an extra part of the house to put the beacon in, but then I realized it would fit exactly in the middle of my household, so I'm not going to build anything extra. I'm just going to do it this way. The problem with doing this on day 86 is not actually sort of digging it up, it's the fact that I need to get myself about 20 stacks of raw iron to do this, so it is time to go mining. I also decided I'm going to grab myself a little bit extra gold. I mean, it'd be nice to have the top layer as gold for whatever reason. This was an incredibly long caving trip, even with the fortune free, but here we are on the final day, which will be day 93, where first of all I got myself a few diamond veins, and I've almost filled up this entire shulker box. I am 99% sure that I have enough now. Let's head home. Day 94, and it was time to cook. There was one little problem, and that's that I didn't actually have enough coal to cook all this up. We can deal with that problem later. For now, let's go ahead and make the full netherite, is what I thought. I never even got the full netherite, so I don't know why I thought I'd be able to do that. Well, it's something else I'll have to deal with. For now, let's quickly grab some coal. Day 95, and to be honest with you, the coal didn't take any time at all, thanks to the fortune pickaxe. I was then able to re-enchant another pickaxe, getting efficiency 4, which would be perfect to get the last bit of ancient debris. So I headed back into the Nether and started mining, and it was on day 98 where I got the last ancient debris I needed. I can head home, cook it all up, and by tomorrow I'll have full netherite armor. And there it is on day 99, the rest of the netherite armor. I even put the end trimming on, because I'll be honest with you, I think it's my favorite trimming. Now we just gotta wait for the iron to cook, and hopefully we'll have enough time. It took all the way until the last day 100, but I did make all the blocks needed, and I have created a full beacon inside my house. All things considered, a very successful 100 days if you ask me. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.